In a world where love knows no age, a broke college student named Alex finds himself swept off his feet by the glamorous and wealthy Margaret, a 61-year-old millionaire. Their whirlwind romance leads to a spontaneous wedding, promising a life of luxury and adventure. But just 10 days into their marriage, Alex stumbles upon a shocking secret that could shatter everything he thought he knew about his new wife. As he grapples with the truth, he must decide whether their love can withstand the weight of hidden pasts and unexpected revelations. Alex Thompson was a typical college student, juggling classes, part-time jobs, and the constant stress of student loans. At 23, he was ambitious and full of dreams, but his bank account often told a different story. He spent his days in lectures and his nights working at a local coffee shop, trying to make ends meet. Despite the challenges, Alex remained optimistic, believing that one day he would find his path to success. One fateful evening, while working his shift at the coffee shop, Alex noticed a striking woman sitting alone at a corner table. Margaret Sinclair, a 61-year-old millionaire, exuded elegance and confidence. Her silver hair framed her face beautifully, and her designer clothes hinted at a life of luxury. Alex couldn't help but be drawn to her, intrigued by the contrast between her sophisticated demeanor and the bustling cafe around her. As the night wore on, Alex found himself stealing glances at Margaret. To his surprise, she caught his eye and smiled warmly. Encouraged, he approached her table, his heart racing. "Can I get you anything else?" he asked, trying to sound casual. Margaret looked up, her blue eyes sparkling. "Actually, I'd love to hear more about this place. It seems to have a charm of its own." Their conversation flowed effortlessly, and Alex found himself captivated by Margaret's stories of travel, art, and her experiences in the business world. She was intelligent, witty, and had a zest for life that was infectious. As they talked, Alex felt a connection he had never experienced before. Over the next few weeks, their friendship blossomed into something deeper. They met regularly at the cafe, sharing laughter and dreams. Margaret admired Alex's ambition and passion, while Alex was enchanted by Margaret's wisdom and life experiences. Despite their age difference, they found common ground in their love for adventure and exploration. One evening, as they strolled through a nearby park, Margaret took Alex's hand, her touch sending shivers down his spine. "You know, Alex, I've never felt this way about anyone before," she confessed, her voice soft. "Me neither," Alex admitted, his heart racing. "You make me feel alive." Their relationship quickly escalated, and before long, they found themselves in a whirlwind romance. Margaret introduced Alex to a world of luxury he had only dreamed of: fine dining, extravagant parties, and lavish vacations. He was swept off his feet, and for the first time, he felt like he belonged to something extraordinary. Then came the day that changed everything. In a moment of spontaneity, Margaret proposed to Alex during a romantic dinner overlooking the city skyline. "Let's not waste any more time. I want to spend the rest of my life with you," she said, her eyes filled with love. Caught up in the magic of the moment, Alex said yes without hesitation. They married just a week later in an intimate ceremony surrounded by close friends and family. As they exchanged vows, Alex felt a rush of happiness, believing he had found his soulmate. But as the honeymoon phase began, Alex noticed subtle changes in Margaret's behavior. She seemed distracted at times, and there were moments when he caught her staring off into the distance, lost in thought. He brushed it off, convincing himself that it was just the stress of their new life together. 10 days into their marriage, Alex returned home early from class, eager to surprise Margaret with dinner. As he entered their lavish apartment, he noticed the door to her study was slightly ajar. Curiosity piqued, he approached and overheard Margaret on the phone, her voice tense and urgent. "I can't keep this from him any longer," she said, her tone filled with worry. "He deserves to know the truth." Alex's heart raced as he listened, a sense of dread creeping in. What truth was she hiding? He felt a knot tighten in his stomach as he realized that the woman he had married might not be who she seemed. The revelation hit Alex like a ton of bricks. He stood frozen outside the study door, his heart pounding in his chest. The woman he had married, the one who had swept him off his feet and promised him a life of love and adventure, was hiding something significant. The thought sent a wave of anxiety coursing through him. He took a deep breath, trying to steady himself. Should he confront her now, or wait until she was finished with the call? The uncertainty gnawed at him, but he knew he needed answers. Gathering his courage, he pushed the door open slightly and stepped inside. Margaret looked up, her expression shifting from surprise to concern. "Alex, you're home early," she said, quickly ending the call and putting her phone down. "Who are you talking to?" he asked, trying to keep his voice steady despite the turmoil inside. Margaret hesitated, her eyes darting away. "It was just a business call," she replied, but Alex could see the tension in her posture. "Business?" "It didn't sound like it," he pressed, his heart racing. "You said something about keeping the truth from me. What truth?" Margaret sighed, running a hand through her hair. "Alex, I didn't want you to find out this way. I wanted to tell you when the time was right." "Tell me what?" he demanded, feeling a mix of anger and fear. "What are you hiding from me?" She took a deep breath, her expression softening. "I didn't want to burden you with my past. I thought I could protect you from it." "Protect me from what?" Alex felt a sense of dread wash over him. Margaret looked him in the eye, her voice trembling. "I was married before. My husband passed away a few years ago, and I've been trying to rebuild my life ever since. But there's more. I was involved in a legal battle over my late husband's estate. It's complicated, and I didn't want you to be dragged into it." Alex's heart sank. "You were married? And you didn't think to tell me?" "We just got married, Margaret." "I know, and I'm so sorry," she said, tears welling in her eyes. "I thought I could leave that part of my life behind. But it keeps coming back. I didn't want to scare you away." "Scare me away?" he echoed, feeling betrayed. "You've kept a huge part of your life a secret from me. How can I trust you now?" Margaret stepped closer, her voice pleading. "Please, Alex, I love you. I didn't want to lose you. I thought if I could just focus on our future, we could forget about my past." "Forget about your past?" he said incredulously. "That's not how relationships work. You can't just erase your history." "I know," she replied, her voice breaking. "But I was afraid. Afraid that you would see me differently. That you wouldn't want to be with me if you knew the truth." Alex felt a whirlwind of emotions. Anger, confusion, and heartbreak. He had fallen in love with Margaret, but now he felt like he was standing on shaky ground. "What else are you hiding?" he asked, his voice low. Margaret hesitated, her eyes filled with regret. "There's one more thing. The legal battle. It's not over. My late husband's family is still contesting the will, and they want a share of the estate. I've been trying to keep it from affecting us, but it's been weighing heavily on me." Alex felt a mix of sympathy and frustration. "Why didn't you tell me sooner? We could have faced this together." "I thought I could handle it on my own," she admitted, her voice trembling. "I didn't want to drag you into my mess. I wanted to protect you." "Protect me?" he repeated, feeling a sense of betrayal. "You've kept me in the dark about something so important. How can I trust you now?" Margaret's eyes filled with tears. "I never meant to hurt you, Alex. I love you more than anything. I just wanted to give us a chance without the baggage of my past." Alex felt torn. He loved Margaret, but the weight of her secrets felt like a chasm between them. "I need time to think," he said finally, his voice heavy with emotion. "I can't just pretend everything is okay." Margaret nodded, her expression filled with sorrow. "I understand. Take all the time you need. I'll be here when you're ready to talk." As Alex left the study, he felt a mix of anger and heartbreak. He had entered their marriage with dreams of a bright future, but now everything felt uncertain. The lavish lifestyle he had been swept into suddenly felt tainted by secrets and lies. He needed to clear his head, so he decided to take a walk around the neighborhood. The cool evening air hit his face as he stepped outside, but it did little to calm the storm brewing inside him. He wandered aimlessly, replaying the conversation in his mind. How could Margaret have kept such a significant part of her life hidden? He felt betrayed, yet he couldn't shake the love he had for her. As he walked, he found himself at a nearby park where he sat on a bench, staring at the ground. The laughter of children playing nearby contrasted sharply with the turmoil in his heart. He thought about the life they had just begun to build together, the dreams they had shared, the plans for the future. Could he really throw it all away because of her past? After what felt like hours, Alex finally returned home, his mind still racing. He found Margaret sitting on the couch, her eyes red from crying. The sight of her made his heart ache. Despite everything, he still loved her deeply. "Alex," she said softly, her voice trembling. "I'm so sorry. I never wanted to hurt you." He took a deep breath, trying to find the right words. "I don't know what to think right now, Margaret. I feel like I don't know you at all." "I understand," she replied, her voice filled with sorrow. "But I want to be honest with you. I want to share everything, even the parts that are hard to talk about." "Then tell me everything," he urged, his heart pounding. "I need to know what I'm dealing with." Margaret nodded, wiping her tears. "Okay, after my husband passed away, I thought I could move on, but his family has been relentless. They believe they're entitled to a portion of the estate, and they've been trying to undermine me at every turn. I didn't want to bring that stress into our lives." "Why didn't you fight back?" Alex asked, feeling a mix of frustration and concern. "I did," she said, her voice shaking. "But it's complicated. They have resources and connections that I don't. I thought I could handle it alone, but it's been exhausting. I didn't want to burden you with my problems." Alex felt a pang of sympathy for her. "You're not a burden, Margaret. We're partners. We should face challenges together, not apart." "I know," she said, her eyes pleading. "I just didn't want to scare you away. I thought if I could keep it hidden, we could focus on our love." "Love isn't built on secrets," he replied, his voice firm but gentle. "I need to know that I can trust you. If we're going to make this work, we have to be open with each other." Margaret nodded, her expression earnest. "You're right. I promise to be completely honest with you from now on. I want to fight this battle together." As they talked, Alex felt a flicker of hope. Maybe they could overcome this obstacle if they faced it together. "What do we need to do?" he asked, determination filling his voice. Margaret took a deep breath, her eyes shining with gratitude. "I have a lawyer who's been helping me, but I need to be more proactive. We can gather evidence to support my case and show that my late husband's wishes were clear." "Let's do it," Alex said, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. "I'm with you every step of the way." They spent the next few days working together, gathering documents and preparing for the legal battle ahead. As they collaborated, Alex felt their bond strengthening. They were no longer just a couple in love. They were partners facing a challenge together. But just as they began to feel hopeful, they received a letter from Margaret's late husband's family, threatening to take legal action against Alex as well. The letter claimed that he was a gold digger, trying to take advantage of Margaret's wealth. The accusation stung, and Alex felt a wave of anger wash over him. "Can you believe this?" he exclaimed, showing the letter to Margaret. "They're trying to drag me into this mess." Margaret's expression turned serious. "I'm so sorry, Alex. I never wanted this for you. I thought I could protect you from it." "Protect me?" he said, frustration bubbling to the surface. "You should have told me everything from the start. Now I'm in the middle of a fight that I didn't even ask for." Margaret looked down, her eyes filled with regret. "I know, and I'm so sorry. I thought I could shield you from the fallout. I never wanted you to be a target." Alex took a deep breath, trying to calm the storm of emotions inside him. "I love you, Margaret, but this is getting out of hand. I didn't sign up for a legal battle. I just wanted to build a life with you." "I understand," she said, her voice trembling, "but I can't let them take what's rightfully mine. My late husband wanted me to have everything, and I won't let them take that away from me." "Then let's fight together," Alex said, determination flooding his veins. But we need to be smart about this. We can't let their accusations get to us. We need to show them that our love is real and that I'm not after your money. Margaret nodded, her expression resolute. You're right. We'll gather evidence and I'll talk to my lawyer about how to counter their claims. We'll show them that they can't intimidate us. As they worked together, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose. They spent long nights poring over documents, gathering evidence, and preparing for the legal battle ahead. They even reached out to friends and family who could vouch for their relationship, hoping to build a strong case against Margaret's late husband's family. But just as they began to feel hopeful, the stress of the situation began to take its toll. The constant pressure of the legal battle weighed heavily on both of them. They found themselves arguing more frequently, their love strained by the stress of the situation. One evening, after a particularly heated argument, Alex stormed out of their apartment, feeling overwhelmed. He wandered the streets, trying to clear his head. The city lights blurred as tears filled his eyes. He loved Margaret, but the weight of the situation felt unbearable. As he walked, he found himself at the park where they had shared so many happy moments. He sat on a bench, staring at the ground, feeling lost. Just then, he heard footsteps approaching. He looked up to see Margaret standing there, her expression filled with concern. Alex, she said softly, her voice trembling. I've been looking for you. I needed some air, he replied, his voice strained. I can't keep doing this. The stress is tearing us apart. Margaret sat down beside him, her eyes filled with tears. I know. I'm so sorry for dragging you into this. I never wanted to hurt you. I love you, Margaret, he said, his voice breaking. But I can't be a part of this if it's going to destroy us. I need to know that we're in this together, not just fighting against the world. Margaret took his hand, her grip firm. We are in this together. I promise I'll do everything I can to make this right. I don't want to lose you. As they sat together in the quiet of the park, Alex felt a flicker of hope. They had faced challenges before, and they could face this one too. Let's take a step back, he suggested. We can focus on our love and our relationship while we deal with the legal stuff. We can't let it consume us. Margaret nodded, her expression earnest. You're right. We need to prioritize us. I don't want to lose what we have. With that, they made a pact to support each other through the challenges ahead while nurturing their relationship. They returned home, feeling a renewed sense of commitment to one another. In the weeks that followed, Alex and Margaret worked diligently to prepare for the legal battle, but they also made a conscious effort to prioritize their relationship. They set aside time each week for date nights, where they would escape the stress of the outside world and focus on each other. One Friday evening, they decided to revisit the cafe where they had first met. As they sat at the same corner table, sipping coffee and reminiscing about their early days together, Alex felt a sense of warmth enveloping them. The laughter and joy they shared reminded him of why he fell in love with Margaret in the first place. I remember the first time I saw you, he said, a smile spreading across his face. You looked so out of place in that little coffee shop, but you had this aura about you. Margaret laughed, her eyes sparkling. And I remember thinking you were the most charming barista I had ever met. I couldn't believe you were still in school. As they shared stories and laughter, the weight of the legal battle felt lighter. They were reminded of the love that had brought them together, and it fueled their determination to face the challenges ahead. Let's make a promise, Margaret said, her voice serious yet hopeful. No matter what happens with the legal issues, we will always communicate openly and support each other. We can't let this tear us apart. I promise, Alex replied, his heart swelling with affection. We're a team, and we'll get through this together. With their renewed commitment to one another, they dove back into preparing for the legal battle. They met with Margaret's lawyer, who laid out a strategy to counter the claims made by her late husband's family. The lawyer emphasized the importance of gathering character witnesses and evidence that demonstrated the authenticity of the relationship. As the court date approached, Alex and Margaret worked tirelessly, reaching out to friends and family who could vouch for their love. They collected photographs, messages, and testimonials that showcased their bond. Each piece of evidence felt like a testament to their commitment, and it strengthened their resolve. On the day of the court hearing, Alex felt a mix of anxiety and determination. He stood by Margaret's side as they entered the courtroom, holding her hand tightly. The atmosphere was tense, and he could feel the weight of the situation pressing down on them. As the proceedings began, Margaret's lawyer presented their case, highlighting the love and commitment that Alex and Margaret shared. They showcased evidence of their relationship, including photos from their wedding and testimonials from friends who had witnessed their love firsthand. When it was Margaret's turn to speak, she stood confidently, her voice steady. "I loved my late husband, but I also love Alex. He has brought joy and light into my life during a time when I felt lost. I never wanted to hide my past from him, but I was afraid of how it would affect our future. I want to build a life with him, and I won't let my past dictate our happiness." As she spoke, Alex felt a surge of pride. He knew that their love was genuine, and he believed that the truth would prevail. The judge listened intently, and Alex could see the wheels turning in their mind. After a tense deliberation, the judge finally announced the decision. Based on the evidence presented, it is clear that the relationship between Margaret Sinclair and Alex Thompson is genuine. The court finds in favor of Margaret Sinclair, and the claims made by the opposing party are dismissed. Relief washed over Alex and Margaret as they embraced, tears of joy streaming down their faces. They had faced the storm together and emerged victorious. As they left the courthouse hand in hand, Alex felt a renewed sense of hope for their future. They had weathered the storm, and their love had only grown stronger. In the weeks following the court ruling, Alex and Margaret found themselves in a new chapter of their lives. The legal battle had brought them closer together, and they were more committed than ever to building a future filled with love and adventure. One evening, as they sat on the balcony of their apartment, watching the sunset, Alex turned to Margaret. "You know, I've been thinking, we should celebrate our victory. We've been through so much together, and we deserve a little fun." Margaret smiled, her eyes sparkling. "I love that idea. What do you have in mind? How about a weekend getaway? Just the two of us," Alex suggested, feeling a rush of excitement. "We can go to that beach resort we talked about." Margaret's face lit up. "That sounds perfect. I can't wait to relax and enjoy some time together." They quickly made plans for their getaway, booking a cozy beachfront cottage where they could unwind and reconnect. As the weekend approached, Alex felt a sense of anticipation building within him. He was eager to escape the stress of their recent challenges and focus solely on their love. When they arrived at the resort, the sound of the waves crashing against the shore greeted them. The sun was shining, and the air was filled with the scent of salt and freedom. They checked into their cottage, which was beautifully decorated and offered stunning views of the ocean. As they settled in, Alex took Margaret's hand and led her to the beach. They walked along the shoreline, their feet sinking into the warm sand. The sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. "This is beautiful," Margaret said, her voice filled with awe. "I can't believe we're finally here." "I wanted to create a special moment for us," Alex replied, his heart swelling with affection. "After everything we've been through, we deserve this." They found a quiet spot on the beach, where the waves lapped gently at the shore. Alex spread out a blanket, and they settled down, the warmth of the sand beneath them and the cool breeze brushing against their skin. As they sat together watching the sun dip below the horizon, Alex turned to Margaret, his heart full. "I want to make a toast," he said, pulling out a small bottle of champagne he had brought along. "To us, our love, our resilience, and the new beginnings we have ahead of us." Margaret smiled, her eyes glistening with emotion. "To us," she echoed, clinking her glass against his. They took a sip, savoring the moment, and Alex felt a sense of peace wash over him. "Do you remember when we first met?" he asked, a playful smile on his face. "I was just a broke barista, and you were this glamorous millionaire." Margaret laughed, her eyes sparkling. "I do. I was so intrigued by you. You had this passion and energy that drew me in." "I was just trying to impress you," Alex admitted, chuckling. I never imagined we'd end up here, married and fighting legal battles together. Margaret's expression turned serious. I'm so grateful for you, Alex. You stood by me when things got tough, and I can't imagine my life without you. I feel the same way, he replied, taking her hand in his. We've been through so much, but it's only made us stronger. I believe we can face anything together. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, they shared stories, dreams, and laughter, feeling the weight of their past challenges lift. The connection between them felt deeper than ever, and they both knew they were ready to embrace whatever the future held. The next morning, Alex and Margaret woke up to the sound of waves crashing against the shore. The sun streamed through the windows of their cottage, casting a warm glow over the room. They spent the day exploring the beach, swimming in the ocean, and enjoying each other's company without the stress of their recent challenges. As they lounged on the beach, Margaret turned to Alex, her expression thoughtful. You know, I've been thinking about my future. After everything we've been through, I want to focus on what truly matters, our love and the life we want to build together. Alex nodded, feeling a sense of excitement. I've been thinking the same thing. We've faced so much, and now it's time to create the life we've always dreamed of. Margaret smiled, her eyes shining. What if we start a new project together? Something that combines our passions. Like what? Alex asked, intrigued. I've always wanted to open a boutique that showcases local artists and designers, she said, her voice filled with enthusiasm. We could create a space that celebrates creativity and community. I love that idea, Alex replied, feeling inspired. We could host events, workshops, and even collaborate with local artisans. It would be a great way to give back and support the community. As they brainstormed ideas, they felt a renewed sense of purpose. They spent the rest of the day planning their boutique, discussing everything from the name to the layout. The excitement of their new venture filled the air, and they both felt invigorated by the possibilities. That evening, as they watched the sunset from their beach cottage, Alex took Margaret's hand. I can't wait to start this journey with you. I believe we can create something beautiful together. Margaret squeezed his hand, her heart swelling with love. Me too. This is just the beginning for us. As they returned home from their getaway, they dove headfirst into their new project. They spent countless hours researching, meeting with local artists, and planning the boutique. The process brought them closer together, and they found joy in collaborating and sharing their visions. With each passing day, their love deepened, and they felt more connected than ever. They were no longer just a couple facing challenges. They were partners building a future filled with hope and creativity. Months passed, and the boutique began to take shape. They found a charming location in the heart of the city, and with the help of local artisans, they transformed the space into a vibrant hub of creativity. The walls were adorned with beautiful artwork, and the shelves were filled with unique handmade items. As the grand opening approached, Alex and Margaret felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. They had poured their hearts and souls into this project, and they hoped the community would embrace it. On the day of the grand opening, the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. Alex and Margaret arrived early to set up, their hearts racing with excitement. They had invited friends, family, and local artists to celebrate this new chapter in their lives. As the doors opened, a steady stream of customers began to filter in. The boutique was filled with laughter, chatter, and the sound of music playing softly in the background. Alex and Margaret greeted everyone with warm smiles, their hearts swelling with pride as they watched people admire the artwork and handmade goods. "Look at this place," Margaret exclaimed, her eyes shining with joy. "I can't believe we did it." "I know. It's amazing to see our vision come to life," Alex replied, feeling a sense of fulfillment wash over him. As the day went on, they mingled with guests, sharing stories about the artists and the inspiration behind the boutique. They felt a sense of community forming, and it was clear that their hard work was paying off. Later in the afternoon, they gathered everyone for a toast. Alex stood up, holding a glass of champagne. "Thank you all for being here today. This boutique is not just a business for us. It's a celebration of creativity, love, and community. We couldn't have done it without your support," Margaret added. "We're so grateful for each and every one of you." This is just the beginning, and we can't wait to see where this journey takes us. As they clinked glasses, Alex felt a wave of gratitude wash over him. They had faced challenges, but they had emerged stronger, united by their love and shared dreams. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the boutique, Alex and Margaret took a moment to step outside. They stood together, watching the people who had come to support them, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "I can't believe how far we've come," Margaret said, leaning her head on Alex's shoulder. "From the chaos of the past to this beautiful moment. Together, we can face anything," Alex replied, wrapping his arm around her. "I'm so proud of us." With their hearts full, they returned inside to continue celebrating with their friends and family. The boutique was a success, and they knew it was just the beginning of a beautiful journey together. As the evening wound down, Alex and Margaret took a moment to reflect on their journey. They had faced challenges that tested their love, but they had emerged stronger, united by their shared dreams and aspirations. "Let's keep this momentum going," Alex suggested, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "We should host workshops and events to engage the community even more. We can invite local artists to showcase their work and share their stories." Margaret's face lit up. "That's a fantastic idea. We can create a space where people feel inspired and connected. We could even offer classes for aspiring artists and entrepreneurs." "Exactly. We can build a community around creativity and support," Alex replied, feeling invigorated by the possibilities. "Let's start planning our first event." They spent the next few weeks organizing workshops, inviting local artists to share their skills, and creating a calendar of events for the boutique. The response from the community was overwhelmingly positive, and soon the boutique became a hub of creativity and inspiration. As they hosted their first workshop, Alex and Margaret felt a sense of fulfillment. They watched as participants engaged with the artists, sharing ideas and learning new skills. The energy in the room was electric, and it was clear that they were making a difference. "Look at this," Margaret said, her eyes shining with joy. "We're creating something special here." "I know. It's incredible to see our vision come to life," Alex replied, feeling a sense of pride swell within him. "And it's all thanks to the love and support we've received." As the weeks turned into months, the boutique continued to thrive. They hosted events, collaborated with local artists, and built a community that celebrated creativity and connection. Alex and Margaret felt a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that they were making a positive impact in the lives of others. But their journey didn't stop there. They began to dream bigger, envisioning a future where they could expand their boutique and reach even more people. They discussed the possibility of opening additional locations and creating an online platform to showcase the artists they believed in. "Imagine the possibilities," Margaret said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "We could create a network of artists and entrepreneurs, helping them share their work with the world." "I love that idea," Alex replied, feeling inspired. "Let's make it happen. Together we can achieve anything." As they continued to build their dreams, they knew that their love was the foundation of everything they were creating. They were not just partners in business. They were partners in life, supporting each other through every challenge and celebrating every success. With their hearts set on expanding their vision, Alex and Margaret decided to host a community event to raise awareness about local artists and entrepreneurs. They wanted to create a platform where people could showcase their talents and connect with others who shared their passions. "Let's call it Art Soul, a celebration of creativity," Margaret suggested, her eyes shining with enthusiasm. "We can invite local artists, musicians, and entrepreneurs to share their work and stories." "I love it," Alex replied, feeling a surge of excitement. "We can set up booths, have live performances, and even offer workshops throughout the day. It'll be a great way to bring the community together." They began planning the event, reaching out to local artists and businesses to participate. They created promotional materials, spread the word on social media, and engaged with the community to generate interest. The response was overwhelming, and soon they had a lineup of talented individuals eager to showcase their work. As the day of the event approached, Alex and Margaret worked tirelessly to ensure everything was in place. They decorated the boutique, set up booths, and organized the schedule for performances and workshops. The excitement in the air was palpable, and they could feel the energy building. On the day of the event, the boutique was transformed into a vibrant celebration of creativity. The streets were filled with people, laughter, and music. Alex and Margaret welcomed guests with open arms, their hearts swelling with pride as they watched the community come together. "Look at this," Margaret exclaimed, her eyes shining with joy. "This is everything we dreamed of." "I know. It's incredible to see so many people supporting local talent," Alex replied, feeling a sense of fulfillment wash over him. "We're making a difference." As the day unfolded, they watched as artists showcased their work, musicians performed, and attendees engaged in workshops. But this was just the beginning. The atmosphere was electric, and it was clear that their vision had come to life. By the end of the day, Alex and Margaret felt a deep sense of gratitude. They had created a space where creativity thrived, and they knew that they were committed to continuing their efforts to support local artists and entrepreneurs, and they were excited about the future. "Together we can achieve anything," Alex said, taking Margaret's hand as they stood amidst the celebration. "This is just the start of our journey." Margaret smiled, her heart full. "I can't wait to see where this takes us." As the sun set on their successful event, Alex and Margaret stood hand in hand looking out at the vibrant community they had helped create. They had faced challenges, but their love had triumphed, leading them to a future filled with hope and possibility. With dreams to chase and a community to inspire, they knew that together they could overcome anything. Their journey was just beginning, and they were ready to embrace every moment, hand in hand, as partners in love and life. Disclaimer: this story is a work of fiction and is intended for entertainment purposes only. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. The themes and characters are created to inspire compassion and understanding towards those facing challenges in life.